here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats, and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which
is being linked to a sex trafficking investigation.
He got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now we're trying.
The crazy thing is, I guess for people like Benzino and just other weird people in the music industry who want to feel bad for Diddy, or like, y'all couldn't wait to tear down a black man, this, that, and the third. I'm not gonna lie to you, that to me is just, it's crazy and it don't make no sense. And there's no way in the world y'all believe that. One thing that for sure, and 2 things for certain, the FBI don't come and get nobody for fun. We done all watched enough, you done seen enough BMF, you done seen enough docuseries, you done seen enough of everything to know for a fact that the DA ain't just, or the FBI ain't just wasting their time to just come and knock on somebody's door for fun. If the FBI come to your house and raid both of your joints at the same exact time, like this was literally like they was trying to take down El Chapo, dog, it's a wrap for him. You can hang it up. Ain't no pity parties. Ain't no, I need to hear this, that, and the third, or wait until more information. No, if you sit here and say you need to wait until more information, we need to start picking out those people who say that. If you say I need to see more information, now we need to start looking at you funny immediately, because that means you hiding something and you got something affiliated with him, and you don't want to go too crazy on him because you don't want him to sit here and put you on blast. Because it ain't no more, oh, I need to figure this out. The FBI don't sit here and waste their, this ain't your local police, this ain't your county police, this ain't no state sheriff, nothing. This is the FBI. They came in their army fatigue and everything to come to this man, Jones. It's a wrap. You could hang that one up, dog. Ain't no pity parties. Ain't no, I couldn't believe Benzino. And that's why his daughter don't want to be affiliated with him, or don't even want his name attached with hers, because, bro, that's just corny. Like, come on, dog. Let's be serious. Like, at some point in time, we got to be serious and call a spade a spade. Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, some stuff just absolutely just don't make no sense. And I don't have no, and the crazy thing is just how timing works, dog. Like, and I know people don't, some people, you of course, whatever your religious beliefs may be or whatever, if you believe in the stars and the moons, dog, it's just so crazy how timing work with everything. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Oh, look at how no Diddy started a trend, and y'all better blame that on Meek. That's Meek's fault, because Meek sit here and sent all the Philly boys up to academics, and the no Philly became a thing. And that, again, this is why when I said, remember when I said that a couple weeks ago about Meek should have started his own podcast, because you could have got ahead of because now you really don't have no voice. Your voice was only on Twitter, which makes no sense for an entertainer in 2024 for you to only have your voice on certain platforms where you kind of really can't control. You can't go back and forth at a fast enough pace. And then boom, now it's a whole situation talking about no Diddy. And you sit here and bring the light to somebody. And of course, that for Quilly, that moment may only last for a hot second. Who knows? But now after this joint get rated, he almost solidified for at least for another month. The no Diddy gonna carry at least until Memorial Day weekend. If it don't, it depends on how many other celebrities lean into it. And now I think for some celebrities who may have been scared to lean into the no Diddy, it's going to be a lot easier for them to lean into it, because, bro, here's a dub for him. It ain't no more music career. This is not no bridge you going to have to burn or nothing. There's no crumb. There's no coming back from this. When the feds come and get you, it's a dub, dog. You can hang it up. You can trust and believe when the feds come and get you, you're looking at 20 plus. Think about it. I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. Though they sit here talking about Young Thug may not realistically go to trial until 2020. His trial may last until 2027. He ain't get picked up by the feds. This is local. What Young Thug going through right now is local, dog. So you think about what Young Thug is looking at right now, and if you think in any world Diddy gonna get up under something smooth at it, man, y'all crazy as hell, dog. I guess the crazy thing is what I was thinking about right before we started recording dog, not for his daughters, because I mean, of course, beautiful women can kind of like, nobody don't care who your dad is for, like that don't matter for them. So his daughters are gonna be good money. But for his sons who got to kind of really lean heavy on the, hey, Diddy is my dad. Hey, I'm rich. I'm handsome. We swaggy because of daddy. Kind of like, where do you lean at now? Because the money going to dry up, because you ain't going to be able to spend that money as freely as it was, because they're going to eventually, huh?
Yes, they can.
How, boy?
Because a lot of their stuff is in their name.
Like what? How much money?
He put a lot of that. What's that?
Let me tell you something. Okay, listen. Well, I'm just because something you may not understand. When the feds come and get you, they will freeze your assets and everybody's closest to attached to you. So even with his kids, where I'm sure whatever, if it has something to do with anything that's formed with Bad Boy Records or some liquor or something, whatever he may have be going on, trust me, they're gonna when they trying to really shake you down so you can stop spending money, they gonna freeze your assets. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure Diddy started to think about that. Diddy is not a dumb person by a stretch of imagination, especially even after he paid out the money with Cassie. I'm sure that he realistically probably went out on a whim and sit here and said, all right, let me find a way to kind of probably put my bread somewhere. But it still kind of be like,
and both of them got their own money too, right?
From doing what?
From his song and the other one be on TV, right? The Quincy one, no, he.
I mean, that I don't even count him. I'm talking about Justin and what's the other?
I thought Quincy was.
No. Quincy, that's not even his son. That's his. Well, that was his stepson. That's who was that? What's his father is Oh my, it's not Heavy D. Who is his dad? I can't remember his. Yeah, I'll be sure. Yeah, that don't have nothing to do with him. But I'm talking about the two that just was in handcuffs. The two that's in this video.
Oh, I didn't. They was in the video.
Yeah, they in there. They was. Yeah, they was in the house. They pulled him out. They pulled him out of the house. They was in the video when the feds came. I want to say that was their LA home. When they ran into the LA home, they took them two out. It ain't gonna be no just you gonna how dog. And you gotta think about even just for what's the other son? Was it whatever the one that looked just like Diddy and sound like Mase? That son, dog. Most of his stuff is even his music is him sampling Bad Boy songs. After a while, like what's gonna be like? Cause you gotta think about the luxury. Just even when we played a couple weeks ago, when we played those clips of who was that sitting here talking about? It was Hitmaker when he was talking about how Diddy strong on a song for him to be able to get the he took from Boosie. So it's like, how do you sit here now? You don't have that luxury of that strong arm or that reputation or that brand or that sit here and that endorsement that people wanted to hold on. Like, just think about how many stories you'd have heard Diddy get away with certain things. Even in the situation with him and J. Cole, the situation with him and Diddy is, I mean, not Diddy, but Drake. Like, it's not a lot of stuff that people kind of let go up under because Diddy was just still a powerful figure in the music business. But the question of it now will be is, now what you're seeing, this is a real situation. This is not going to be something that you can turn the blind eye to. This is past cancel culture now. So it's like, realistically, how do you sit here and be like, I'm gonna still just go along with my day? Like, I don't necessarily know if that's even possible anymore. Like, it's virtually at this point, it's impossible. Like, how you gonna plan to do it? Like, and me personally, I'm just thinking like, dang, if he was, let's just sit here and say, if I was a female and I was dating one of them or thought about dating one of them, like, do that name still? I don't get it twisted. Paul's and Evil. I mean, well, no Diddy. They not ugly dudes, but I'm sure the allure for that still was these is Diddy's sons. And they'll do like this. That allure still hit because you're now like that name got mad smut on it now. Like his situation, you got that. No, the fans didn't come and get R. Kelly.
No, I don't. I still think even if they dealing with him, they still want to deal with him because at the end of the day, I mean, whatever his situation was or whatever, that was that was before I started messing with you. So, and they're younger, they're messing with younger, it ain't like, so I don't think they really care about that shit.
I mean, nigga, how do you sit here and say, hey, I'm bringing, let's say we skip a couple months now for coming home for Thanksgiving, I'm bringing Diddy son home?
Well, why would you be bringing him home? I think he would be more the other way.
Marcus, are you all the time on Marcus? I don't know if this is registered in your brain how this going to work. It ain't no more coming where we going to?
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying with Diddy, why would I be going to her family? I would thought you would go some, you know what I'm saying?
So where we going to? Nigga, my dad about to be locked up. What are you talking about? My mom's is dead. Where we going?
No, what's the one who spoke up about him drinking? That's what I'm thinking about.
That's Justin. Okay, well, his mother don't bang with him for real. She done dragged him already. What are you talking about? Where we going? Like I don't necessarily know if you don't understand. It's not registered in your brain how serious the FBI coming for you. It ain't no more going to Diddy's Nathaniel. It's over, dog. That's even why we were right before we started recording. They were sitting here saying that one of his private jet was flying across somewhere where I guess they don't do where they don't do basically if he can make it there, they won't bring him back to America. Basically, he pulling a Russell Simmons. But it ain't no more just like, dog, that's over. Even people rushing to go resample all them old Bad Boy songs. I don't necessarily know if people going to do it because some people may start to look, dog. When these charges start to hit and people get to really see what's going on, I don't think it's necessarily going to be as clean of a just like, oh, all right, people still going to bang it. Like, it's no way, because I understand. Listen to what I'm saying. I paid attention to how easy people try to make it like, all right, we was cool on R. Kelly. And some people still made jokes about, oh, I still listen to some of his jokes. Again, the feds did not come and raid and try to pull R. Kelly about his house. This was a long process. Lifetime is the one who speeded up the process for R. Kelly. They ain't waiting for no Lifetime documentary or nothing to happen with Diddy. No, the feds, dog, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you better Google whatever your favorite drug dealer story you'd heard, and you go watch when the feds come for them and how it's over. I ain't trying to even sit here and spoil the BMF for y'all, but dog, when the feds came and got him and tried to lock his mother, his sister, and his father, I don't know if his father was still alive. His father may still been alive at the time, but all of them facing them charges, or even if we talking local, for Rayford Evans, like, dog, people when the feds come and get you, they're gonna press your entire family out and try to make you take even more time, because they know that your family members realistically really ain't had nothing to do with it. They was just your family members. They may have made some assist, like when Meech's dad signed for the house for him, but Meech's dad ain't really no player. But we tell your dad he gonna face 20 years too if you don't sit here and come to some of it and agree to the extra couple of these charges that we trying to pin to you. You gonna sit here and say, like, I know my dad don't deserve to do no 20 years. I don't care if I bought him a new car, house, whatever, he still don't deserve to do 20 years. So that whole just like Diddy kids gonna be able to just move around like Diddy kids. Nah, that's not gonna happen, homeboy. I'm sorry, that one is over. So I don't know how they gonna figure it out, and that's not me wishing. I can't even say.
You think the little girls gonna lose their endorsements?
Nah, because they girls and they still young.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're saying the whole Diddy thing's gonna take an effect, I'm pretty sure.
I think one people always gonna have compassion for women because they are younger women, and they still super young. Like, they like what are they? I don't even know how old they are, but they young as hell. They younger than, like, we talking about the boys are all grown, like they are adults. And like I said, even for the girls, it's not like their attachments and their achievements aren't attached with Diddy. For the boys, everything that they have done is attached to dad.
But even like how Russell Simmons' daughter said how she faced, like a lot of people stopped dealing with her because of her dad. So that's why I'm just wondering, would that be the same with them?
Yeah, because you got them. For her, with her dad she chose sides though. She didn't pick her dad's side. So a lot of people were still saving face because they still bang with her dad. Okay. She chose to stay with Mom Dukes. Like, she picked the side between the parents. That's what it was. It wasn't off the people who wasn't trying to mess with her because of her dad. Hell no. It was people wasn't messing with her because she chose to side with her mom instead of her dad. But for Diddy, it's like, I don't know. To me, I think people gonna look. I even seen a girl called Joe Budden out somebody wrote on Twitter. Shout out to Scotty Beam. She called him out because I guess they had a show together on Revolt, and they had a big blow up in an argument over the Jussie Smollett situation. Mm-hmm. And then she was just like, all right, well, okay, you got me together with the Jussie thing, because she was one of those people who was taking up for Jussie because she believed him. She's like, all right, well, no, take up for your man now. Figure out how you gonna make this one. How you gonna be able to skip this one. Because again, if you can't again and a lot of and shout outs to Hot 97 because I do respect it. They kind of like, all right, it's nasty. It ain't no too much of us be able to kind of keep skipping this topic or keep trying to save grace for him because it's up, dog. It ain't but so much you can keep saving grace for somebody when the writing is on the wall. It is what it is. And for Diddy at this point, I don't know. I just want to see one, how people will treat their kids. Are you
taking down Diddy, or are you taking down everybody?
I mean, the feds coming to get you, so it's gonna be everybody whoever attached to him. I don't necessarily know if he you got to think. We don't know what the charges is. But if you sitting here saying sex trafficking. No, I know that, but it's not like you don't know what. That's just what they saying, what they rating it for. But I'm sure it's gonna be a long list of other. You don't know who else was attached to it though. Like who was people helping him, was whatever. You don't know the real details. It's just you right now. All we know is the raid and whatever the stuff you've been sued for before. But this is now you got them going from suing to now this is a criminal act. It's a little bit different. Because when somebody just suing you, okay, you could keep him quiet like he did Cassie, but this you can't pay your way out of the feds. So, I mean, like I said, we will see how that one going to play out. I don't necessarily know how it's going to play out. And like I said, you don't never want to, it's not even, at this point, like I said, I can't sit here and say you wishing bad on anybody. It's just, bro, like what you do in the dark is going to come to light eventually. Like and I think realistically, I guess my last take before we get off of this is, I do think just even for the Black community, I don't want to say happy, but I am happy that it's happening to Diddy because so many people have praised him and uplift him just because of the money thing. It's always about, oh, look at how he was tricking off on Carisha and this, that, and the third. And it's like, even when we was talking about the age gap of dating or whatever the case may be, it was because everybody was so ooh and ah because of the money, because of the stuff he was buying her. Oh, he could buy her this car, he could do this, that, and the third. And it's like, I think even that I want to talk about it later when we get into the ʼFreaknik doc. I think like just how we have got away so far away from just actually appreciating people and what they do. Like, I don't think people speak on Okuluko, or even speak on Jermaine Dupri the way that he should be spoke about. Even like when I'm listening to his Breakfast Club interview, you can kind of hear like how he felt like he gets slighted on a lot of stuff and people don't give him credit for it because he's not as flashy and as flamboyant as Diddy. Like Diddy kind of, that's one, I mean, I guess if you're gonna give him some credit, is that is one thing he kind of knew how to do, is kind of keep himself in the face of mainstream America always, from even from dating Carisha and tricking off on her and knowing that, okay, this is the society we live in where women are so infatuated with what a man can do for them. But just think about it now. Look at how all that Carisha couldn't even tweet. Like, she literally, every time she tried to get a tweet off the day, they killed her. Like, literally, as soon as that Diddy, like, I'm talking about, dog, that joke literally went viral. As soon as she said, he said, oh, it's gonna be a cool summer, and everybody was just in her mentions like, oh, you must ain't cut the news on yet. And that's even for her. And that's why I'm sitting here saying, like, you thinking like, all right, his kid, how his kid's gonna be okay? And shit, and they ain't not even about to let her breathe the right way. And shout out to JT for pulling away like at the perfect time. And timing is so crazy how, and again, when I say how the universe work and how like stuff just will align at the right time, from the no Diddy to even from JT getting to pull away from Carisha, because just think about it, dog, like that right now, that nobody don't want to be attached to that smut on their name. Every time you do something, that's what people gonna be in the comments trolling you about now. And then again, even when we talking about bad parenting and we talking about judging character, dog, Steve Harvey, we need to call you to the joint too, dog. You was letting your daughter pounce around with him literally just 2 years ago, if that long. And y'all was on a dinner date. But again, when we talking about people prioritizing money, and just because you got bread, we don't call nothing out for what it is, because, oh, this person got money. So, and that's one thing we do. I hate that we do that in the Black community. It's like, bro, we shun and shut up to everything as long as some bread is attached to it. As long as you got some money, it's like, oh, zip it up. You can't say nothing about them because they got more money than you. Dog, that's why we playing follow the leader and monkey see, monkey do right now. And we so far behind just the 8 ball because we put money ahead of everything. And again, why I wanted to tie that into the ʼFreaknik doc is just like, dog, these people literally created something out of having zero. And that's why when I sit here and that's why I'm glad people agree with what I was saying, which is like, watching that doc made me happy to be Black, because you got to actually see Black people create something with no money, just imagination. And for a lot of people, that may not be relatable because you may not have never created nothing before. You may have never had an idea or had to, shit, even if you think about like meals that we make, like when people always say, oh, this is my poor meal, whatever the case may be, you could even tie that into regular everyday thing, how you may sauce up your oodles and noodles different from other people because you ain't got too much in the house. However, you can make that extra thing, make it hit a little bit harder because like, damn, this junk gonna hold me over for the rest of the day. So it's just a little, and that's almost what they did. They literally turned, like the ʼFreaknik was literally like a pack of oodles and noodles, and it just some hot sauce, some Old Bay. However you gonna freak your oodles and noodles, that's what they did. They had nothing. They couldn't go nowhere. They was broke college kids, and they figured it out. And shout outs to them because they was from the DMV. But and so the name of the club, like I said, we get back into it a little bit later, but it was called the Metro Club. And it was so crazy when I first heard it. It was called what?
DC Metro Club.
No, I think it was just called the Metro Club, and that's what made me think. And the crazy thing is, I was looking for the owner of the Metro Club because, of course, for people who don't know, you don't live in the DMV area, that ended up becoming a super popular club in the DC area. The name of the club was the Metro Club, and that's as soon as I heard that thing, it made me think like, dang, I wondered if I was thinking he was gonna have some part of it, but maybe he didn't know. But I'm sure he's old enough to hear that story, and I'm sure I wish somebody could figure out where he had even get an interview from him and ask him that. I wish Irvin's was still up because he definitely used to stay up Irvin's all the time. Because I definitely would have asked him, did he get the name of that club from that from just that scene? And to me it was tight. But again, like I said, it's just, again, when we sit here saying like, I don't think Uncle Luke even get the credit that he deserves, dog, is because like he not shiny. When you look at him, he just look like somebody regular uncle. Like he just chill. Like it's not nothing crazy. He not super flashy. He don't got a bunch of design on. It's just like regular t-shirts, hoodies, whatever the case may be. But
don't that go to, I mean, just how you came up, or your scenery? Because I mean, you can use him just like you would say, like with the Bootsy, like you don't have that mainstream, but you got your core audience who really, go to bat for you. I don't think Uncle Luke was ever looking for that mainstream. Like I want to be.
No, I don't think I don't
I think
necessarily.
he probably
no,
wanted more credit for the South, like, you know.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think he wanted, of course, even from listening to the doc, he didn't just necessarily want the credit for him. He wanted the credit for the South as a whole. And I get that, and I do agree with what you're saying. Like, it maybe his core audience is more of like a Boosie core audience. I do totally agree with you. But I think just still as a Black community, like even just, and I can even tie that in. I watched because I watched this. What's the joint on Netflix? It's a movie. It's called what's it? Oh my God. What is it? Shirley? Is it? Shirley Chisholm. It's the first Black lady who ever ran for president. She didn't win, but she ran. But even still, and I'll break that down a little bit later. But even just her little story was just like, well, she didn't really have no money, and that go back into even when we was talking when I did the jump with P Star and them, and we was talking about Judas and the Black Messiah, where it's just so much like. Back then, you didn't become popular or come popping in the Black community because you had bread. Is actually what your morals and principles stood for. And I feel like we so far detached from that now. Like, though, even just think about talking about going into just the with the what am I talking about? The ʼFreaknik doc. No, even for Jalen Rose is in the NBA, and he was so excited, even explaining that story, how he drove from Detroit to Atlanta just to be a part of ʼFreaknik. Like, for most people y'all listen to, when was the last time you even took a road trip? Because everybody, you're like, dog, you think about how much people shun even getting on Spirit Airlines. Don't even think about if you sit here and say, oh, well, let's do a road trip from here to somewhere else. And people will look at you like you're crazy. No, dudes may do it. If you and your dudes just like, man, let's just drive down there. That may be, but you talking about a woman ain't gonna sit here and get in the car with you and do no road trip. But I'm sure most of y'all, when y'all grew up, y'all had family who live in the South. Y'all never went on no plane to South Carolina. You probably never went to no plane to Georgia or wherever your family may be from. Guess what you did? You got in the car and y'all drove. But now you look at it like, don't think about how fast y'all quick to throw y'all kids on the plane and ain't never took a road trip with your kid. But that's how far, because again, social media and the Black as a whole, but especially social media and the Black community, we shun upon, like, we want to make everybody look rich. So, and when I was listening to JD on the Breakfast Club, he was like, dog, nobody don't want to be poor no more. Nobody wants to be okay with being poor and being regular. But ʼFreaknik started because people didn't have no money.
But I still think some people still do road trips. I don't think it's like it's not out of, like, even when they go to them homecomings, them, you know, A&T and stuff. People do road trips. I don't think everybody is just, oh, let me hop on a flight.
I mean, I don't know. Because I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't know, and necessarily why I would question that. Because even think about, since the CIAA has moved from Baltimore to North Carolina, I feel like it lost its oomph. Because people, they ain't making, like how we used to make that trip down there. Them people ain't making that drive up here though. Like, it just don't have that same oomph. Even when matter of fact, and it's so crazy because they always make a joke about it for the last 2 years, even on Ebro and them Joan on High 97, they've been giving tickets away, and they be like, damn, who's gonna drive to Baltimore? And from New York to Baltimore ain't nothing but like maybe a 3-hour drive. But it's just like, I ain't driving down there for no game. And of course, they don't, and of course, New York people don't have no real attachment to CIAA like how we would have it, or people in the South would have it. But it's still just my point of, dog, we have literally lost our culture and our soul for the most part because we put $1 behind it. And that's why I'm okay and I'm happy with the Diddy thing. And I'm sure, let's be clear, most people won't even learn from this, which they should. You should pay attention to it and sit here and say, hey, is my morals and principles worth me disrespecting myself or putting myself in circumstances where, even for somebody like Young Miami, what if they pull her into it and she end up getting locked up? Was those couple of gifts or the year and some change you running around with Diddy getting gifts or whatever the case may be, and then you won't be a parent no more? And you got to do time behind bars, because we don't know how this gonna spin out. Like, that's what I'm telling you. The FBI don't just come, and when they coming for you, I'm sure it's gonna be people close to you who gonna get picked up and questioned as well. This ain't gonna just go as scathed though, like, oh, it's nothing, boom, 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 we gonna move on to some news tomorrow. Nah, it's not no news tomorrow.
And that's why we haven't seen nobody post out with him.
Yeah, that's probably because he been keeping low, but that don't mean. Y'all gonna learn. If y'all don't know nothing about when the FBI come and get you, y'all ain't paid enough attention, you ain't listening to no Vlad interviews or nothing, don't worry. Diddy gonna give y'all a first class lesson on what happened when it's time for the feds to come and pick you up. And that's just my only thing. Like I said, me personally, for somebody who pay attention to how nasty the culture is, dog, I mean, we gonna see. Got high hopes for you, nigga, but we gonna see. I'm trying to see. I just wanted to see how that Jones coming back. Like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Right now, we just uploading the episode to the podcast situation. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. Give me like 2 seconds. Sounds. I'm gonna listen to a little bit of rain sounds while we figure this out. I could teach from this. I just want to see something real quick with the sound.
No parts. I'm gonna just tell y'all the whole motherfucking story. All right, cool. So I'm married now, you guys. I've been married for 8 years. I
want y'all to hear this story real quick. It's gonna take a second, but I swear to God, the story. This might be one of the best stories I heard.
2 years. When he do come home,
social
he
media.
probably come home 3 times out of the year. He stay home for maybe 2 to 3 weeks at a time. All right, cool. I've been lonely. So I end up cheating on my husband. Yes, I cheated on him. He don't know that I cheated on him. After this video, he gonna know, and I'm in some deep ass shit. But it gets worse than that. It gets worse than the cheating. All right, so I end up going to the bar one night and end up having a one-night stand with this guy, and it was amazing. So that one-night stand turned into almost an every night stand. But it was just like a sexual relationship. I didn't even really care to even really get to know the man. It's just I'm married, so it was just whatever my husband couldn't do for me at the time. I was messing with this guy.
This is crazy work. Like, really listen to the story,
I'm messing with this fella. All right, cool. So we've been messing around for maybe 2 years now or whatever, and I'm just now. We used to when we met up, we just get a room, but now it's like, okay, I could come to your house. He can't come to my house because my kids is at the house, but now I'm going to his house. All right, cool. So long story short, today I found out a bitch is pregnant. I am pregnant. My husband is overseas. So there's no way it could be my husband, baby.
No, this not it, though. It get worse.
Man, baby. I haven't even told him yet. All right. So yesterday, I go to his house and I see this wall and it got the pictures, like the picture collage and stuff. And I'm just now paying attention to it. So I'm looking at the pictures and I'm just like, oh, okay. He doesn't have any kids, but I'm just looking at the pictures and just looking. And then I see a picture of my husband on the motherfucking wall. So I'm just like, the whole time I'm over there, I'm just sitting there like trying to think like, how am I gonna ask him, how do you know that guy that's on your wall? So I'm just, I done bit off all my nails. You got I got one more thumb left. I got the thumb left because I'm over there nervous. I'm just biting my nails, just trying to figure out how am I gonna ask him, how do you know this particular man in this goddamn picture? And I'm like, if you know him, then you know he got a wife. So I'm like, was this a setup? Like, cause I just don't know. So I just fucking like after I ate off all my fingernails and we don't watch movie, everything. Like I finally asked. So I go back over to the wall. So now I'm just like, all right, cool. You just gotta start asking questions like, well, who is this lady? Who is this person? Who is this?
No, just
so
listen
like,
to this story
this?
though.
Like,
I
that's my
promise you
mama.
it'll get
Who?
worse.
This your daddy? All right, cool. Now, this nigga right here. I ain't saying like that, but you get down to the nigga right here. How do you know him? Who's that? He said, that's my brother.
Gotcha, bitch.
And I'm like,
Mo, just listen, though.
We've been married for 8 years. I ain't never know him to have a brother. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, on your daddy's side. So he's like, yeah, on my dad's side. All right, now cool. That's some clarity right there because my husband daddy died way before me and him even met. He said he had some siblings on his daddy's side, but he don't really know like I got some siblings on my daddy's side. I got a whole bunch, I think 7 of them. I don't really know them like that. Like I know them, but I don't even know them like that. So it could, yeah. So my husband ain't really like talk about him like that. They cool or whatever, but he ain't never like, he wasn't never at none of the family functions and nothing like that. That's his daddy's side, Some of y'all might not know, but some of y'all that have siblings, y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so he like, that's my brother on my daddy's side.
The story only get worse.
Okay, cool. So
it ain't done. She ain't done yet.
They actually really close. But I ain't never see this nigga. But I'm just like, okay, is he married? He like, yeah, he married. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, so do you know his wife? He like, nah, I ain't never met her. She live overseas with him. So I'm like,
exactly.
No, I'm not. In my head, I'm just like, oh yeah. He like, yeah, they got 2 kids in Germany. And I'm just like,
yo. What the fuck?
I got 3 in my head. So I'm just like, oh yeah.
Shout out to her. Yeah. She played it cool the whole time.
I talk to him, very frequently. I'm just like, oh, okay. Word. He like, yeah. So I'm like, maybe that ain't him. Maybe it ain't. I'm like, maybe it ain't him. Because I got 3 kids and I live in the United States of America. So I'm just like, okay. So then on the collage, he starts showing me pictures of the pictures I did not see yet. But he's showing me pictures of my husband with his wife. Now, mind you, I'm the wife. So he's showing me pictures of my husband with another woman. So I'm just like, and their kids. So I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. So, but the crazy thing is, he got 2 boys by this other lady. Well, from what I'm seeing, he got pictures of the kids up here. These 2 boys look identical to my kids. Like, they look the same.
Shout out to the dad for having strong genes.
Yo, then he's showing me, now mind you, I have 3 by my husband. I got 2 boys and a girl. So they got 2 boys. So I'm looking at the rest of the pictures. I see a picture of my 2 sons, like my kids. And I'm like, so I'm just playing it dumb, like, oh yeah, because I'm in a situation right now. And this is his brother, and I don't know what to do. So, all right, long story short, I never even told him, that was yesterday. I never even told him nothing about the man and my husband and nothing, his brother. But I'm in some shit, y'all. What do I do?
Pray.
Like, I'm pregnant by my husband's brother. What do I do? What do I do?
Shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So let's dissect this a little bit real quick. My question is, though, one, is she really married now? That's my other question, because if he married to this other woman,
it's overseas, so probably don't matter.
One of them, so you telling me both he could actually be married to 2 women, or is one of them no good?
You gotta think about it. It's whatever dead laws and regulation over there in that state. And if he a dual citizen, obviously he a dual citizen. Because he's over there more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because he's in the military, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But who? Okay, so then the question
So
is,
who
though,
is in the
so
wrong?
that's what I was about. That's what my question was. Who really in the wrong? Is she? Of course, before
No.
she. Let's be clear. Before she knew what was going on, yes, she was dead wrong because of this man is. And again, that's why, fellas, you got to be careful when living and dying on that. I'm a provider hill because this man was providing. You got that one. She got a house to herself. He come back and forth, however the case may be. She ain't got to work. She a full-time mom. And don't get it quick. I seen people in Twitter, they was asking the question like, all right, well, you started to sneak off with him. You saying that y'all been together for you and your husband been married for 8 years. So your kids ain't but so old. So who watching the kids while you and going to old boy house to get some meat? That's cool. That's one. Let's leave it there. But then the question of it is, now that she know this situation, why she even really feel bad? Because it's like,
She shouldn't feel bad now.
yeah, not knowing all that. The only person who really should kind of feel some type of way is the brother.
She ain't been honest to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's the only person.
So would you tell the truth?
You got no choice.
To the
Unless you're
brother?
not gonna keep the kid. If you're gonna keep the kid, you have no choice but to tell everybody. The brother is the only one realistically in the clear and have nothing to do with this. Like
Right,
he ain't.
yeah,
He's
'cause he
the
didn't
only
know
person.
about- he
He
didn't know
don't know about none of this. So he completely in the clear. And you can't you can't even be like, oh, how about if he knew and the brother was, you can't even sit here and say that because if he was just lining her up, he would have never put the pictures in there. Like the pictures was there for her to see.
Yeah,
She just was never
right,
looking.
right.
Of course, because most people, if you going over somebody's house on the booty call hours,
paying
you're not looking for real. You're not really doing no real inspection. You're just trying to hurry up, get to the bedroom and get cracking and go about your business.
But I mean, even to go back to the kids could be a certain age, you know what I'm saying? Because she said that's how long they've been married, not long they've been dating. They probably could have had
I
kids.
mean, yeah,
before they got
maybe.
married, too. So if it's me, I don't know if I would tell the brother.
So what you mean? How you not? So what you mean? You're not gonna tell me unless you're not gonna keep the kid? And now you said it on this was a TikTok video. I seen this on Twitter. So after when it make it to another app, that means your video's OD viral. So everybody gonna see this.
Okay,
it might not never
right,
get.
So let me ask you this: if you the husband, are you about to call her after seeing that video?
No, I'm gonna wait for her to call me.
Okay.
Because he just in wrong. He just in the wrong. And she is.
So that's why I'm just curious. Do I tell the brother then? Because I feel like, okay, if he sees that video, he probably know, all right, fuck, I'm caught. It is what it is. I might as well just stay out here. So would she?
I mean, you can't sit here and say I'm gonna just stay out here because like I said, I don't necessarily. That's why I'm asking the question of the marriage thing. How do that play out? Because it's like, all right, let's just say if both of these marriages are legit, like, okay, you got married in one country, you married in another country, those two things may never, who knows? Because I'm sure people do it all the time when they're trying to get green cards or whatever. I don't know how that, I don't necessarily know how it play out. I don't know the rules and regulations with that one. But let's just say both of these marriages are legit. So realistically, I'm sure, and you still employed by the United States of America. You're in the military, so you are still a United States, you know what I'm saying? You still are a government employee. So my thing of it is you can't just carry her because I'm sure realistically, I'm sure 9 times out of 10, you probably pay, because the only way a woman gonna deal or even tolerate that type of lifestyle is if you paying all the bills. So you can't just up and be like, oh, well, I seen this video now. I'm never coming back for my kids, or I'm sitting here paying.
I'm still deployed out here. I didn't have to. I'm just coming back there to just to
no,
show.
but what I'm saying is you still got this stuff in your name. Like he still got to pay bills. Your kids live there.
But they might be already taken care of. If he's not there, I don't have to be there to have the bills taken.
No, but you missing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about him him and her had to still be together. And he's still, I don't know how. I don't even.
Let's just say it's on auto pay. Everything's getting paid for. Everything's getting taken care of.
Cool.
I don't have to be seen for my bills not to get paid. As long as I'm still working, the bills gonna get paid, whether they see me or not.
No, I get that, but how you can't even be but so butthurt if you know for a fact you married to 2 women, dog. Like, of course, it's gonna hurt your ego, but then she end up letting your brother crack. But still, it's still realistically, you just as wrong as she is.
Yeah, now you are.
Oh, you got a whole different.
You worse than her for real, because the reason why she cheated was because you not around, not showing her attention.
Yeah,
and so the whole time you was living a whole nother life.
Yeah, but I mean that to me, and I feel like for most men would agree that kind of almost come with the territory when you taking care of all the bills.
No, I don't. No, you can't say that come with that territory. You can't say that because at the end of the day, then it's just like, well, what am I here for then?
What is who?
Because
if
you sitting here saying that whatever it comes with the territory, then why do I need to even come back over there? I might as well stay where I'm at. What am I there for? If the bills is paid for, that's all you worried about. And you know what I'm saying? The bills are taken care of. What do I even need to come back for?
You was coming back because you was going with the lie.
But now that it's out, I don't need to go with the lie no more. Because you basically you saying with the territory, I'm paying all the bills, then I should be able to do what I want.
I mean, obviously he kind of really was. He just was doing it without getting caught. His brother, his cover would have never got blown, dog.
Would you be mad at your brother?
No, because he didn't know.
But I'm just saying, but like for the pit, like damn nigga, you just had to show had the fucking pictures up.
Dog, no, because it's like nigga, look how random that was.
No,
Like that story was literally like out of a Tyler Perry movie, dog. That was like so like that was like how again when we talk about universe, like who would have ever thought that would have happened? Who would have thought you would have got caught up because your wife was on a booty call? Just think about how random that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause and not no shade to this woman, she ain't no crazy looker neither. Like, so it ain't like you're not thinking like, damn, I'm leaving this OD beautiful woman home alone and somebody. I mean, of course, a woman gonna be a woman, and as long as she got some boobs and what she look like she had, niggas gonna want to still knock down. So I'm sure realistically, you kind of was. And that's what I said. I don't necessarily know if he even cared. You probably wasn't even checking in enough, even calling her, FaceTiming her before bed, because you know why you didn't care what she was doing? Because nigga, you got a whole nother wife at home,
whole family. Not even just the wife.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, though. You know what? And it's so reason what made me even appreciate that story more, because I was listening to, and I'm sure a lot of y'all may not be hip because I don't necessarily know how crazy y'all get into podcasting, but I was listening to Mandy B, and she was on her Instagram live, and she was going, and they had for people, I'm sure if y'all watch Love and Hip Hop, y'all may know who Bridget Kelly is because she was on Love and Hip Hop before. But they had a podcast together and they ended up breaking up their podcast. But I was listening to her explain how much money she spent into podcasting. And the reason why I wanted to just even mention this with that lady's story, and to anybody, if you even thinking about getting a podcast, or if you got one and you're trying to figure out how to cut your overhead on recording, though, you shouldn't, to me personally, you shouldn't spend but so much money on recording a podcast, because realistically, the purpose, as long as your audio is clear and people can hear you, I think people put too much emphasis on what it looked like because you're trying to look good on Instagram. And for this, no, she recorded this video in her car. And that's even when we talk about the Risa Tisa lady, like, no, it's people, I think, and again, when we talk about going into the FreakNik thing, creating something with having nothing. Most people, when you talking about this video going super viral, like it literally had 5 million views just on TikTok. Not on TikTok, but on Twitter. So like I said, this is a TikTok video. So somebody took it from TikTok and brought it on the Twitter. It got 5 million views on Twitter. She spent $0. This is whatever her phone bill is. She got to pay that phone bill regardless if she make that video or not. But that's my point. Sometimes people put too much emphasis on what something got to look like. Now you got an expense on a podcast where you thousands of dollars in the hole, but is it really worth it? Because even, let's just be clear, casting that record on the laptop.
But I think it's also, I think it's more of the attraction. You got to have something to attract them. Like you can't
because if you're not talking about nothing, then that to me, again, what I'm sitting here saying is the bigger point will be of you not talking about nothing. So you're trying to make this look better than what you're actually talking about.
But how do I even get your attention? That's what I'm saying. I think
it's the story. It's what you're talking about. It's how you talking. It's the energy you put in what you're talking about. I don't care about what it look like. Do you pay attention to what academics look like? No, he's on a laptop. It don't matter. You see it on Instagram when his videos go viral. It come on your Instagram page. He's on a laptop.
But that's their setup for the streaming, right? But that's not.
That's it. That's the same thing. It's just the audio. But listen, most people, especially people who really get into podcasting for real, you work a job. You don't have time to actually look at your phone. You may listen to it on YouTube because it's just easier. I can just pull something up on YouTube because it's easier to search on YouTube. But you're not actually just sitting there watching it and looking at. Oh, let me see what his outfit look like on. Let me see the lighting and this, that, and the third. No, bro, people are listening. You think about acting, well, again, like to me, the perfect example of using is these people that's going viral on TikTok, and then even if you're going on for people where I still feel like it's a podcast, or you live stream, you can call it whatever you want. Academics and casting that is recording off of a laptop, making multi-millions of dollars, sitting in the basement on a laptop. But you sitting here saying you're spending thousands of dollars for, it's like almost for what? Just to complain about the overhead, that to me don't make no sense. And then for most people, if you sit here saying, oh, and I hear a lot of people complain about that, like a lot of like you complain about the overhead, but it to me, take away some of those expenses and put more emphasis on what you're talking about and how you're talking about it. And that would be my.
I hear what you're saying, but I still think you still gonna put money into it. It's not like
but you don't if you do.
But I'm just saying. But even when you're using Castanet and them, they still have in a basement or whatever the case may be. They in something. The equipment is still, you know what I'm saying. It's
but I mean, of course, whatever you pay for your, whatever you pay for your equipment, but it's nothing spectacular about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying.
It's him. It's not the equipment. The equipment ain't gonna make him.
It ain't like I said, you ain't just doing it just off of just, you know what I'm saying? Like you did put something, you invested something into it.
Yeah, a microphone in your laptop. That's cool. You got it. I mean, you're gonna have to do that. That's that. Just know, I ain't sitting here telling you can't avoid that one. But I'm talking about the bells and whistles when people want to put up 20 lights and all this other extra stuff, and you spending money. Like I was listening to her. She talking about they got people who do the YouTube stuff and people who do the Instagram stuff and some people who run your TikTok and all this. Somebody you pay somebody to do your clips and all that. I'm like, bro, that just extremely sound like way you spending a lot of money for the stuff that just ain't that important. If your content is hitting and what you talking about hitting, I don't think necessarily you need to pay all that, spending all that bread. And the reason, like I said, again, and the reason I just wanted to add those two things in because I know is I always meet people every day who be like, I think I'm thinking about starting a podcast. I'm like, bro, just start. Get you a microphone. As long as the sound good, but most of the time it's just like you trying to put too much sauce on a weak hamburger. It looked tight. It looked clean. It looked professional. But then what are you talking about?
And I think that's probably what people probably see. They just see the look. That's what I think is a success. Not the.
Yeah, you better do your homework, dog. And it ain't that. To me, it ain't that hard. Look at Cass and that. And look at academics. Those to me will be the two easiest people to sit here and point at. Look at them and look at their setup. Ain't no real effort into their setup and their situation do numbers. You can hit that little button. You can hit that light. That jump blowing my eyes. I don't know. I can't do them bright lights. They crushing me after a while. Real quick, I guess we can get into it. We get into, of course, Kendrick Lamar dissing. First off, before we get into Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake, that Future album is mid as hell. Let's be clear. Let's be honest. If we talking about straight rap music, we talking about good trap music. I will sit here and I will say this 1,000,001 times. I'd rather listen to that new Boss Man D-Lo than listen to that Future. And I'm not gonna go too crazy on Future because I'm sure he knew that was me, and that's why he was coming with a back-to-back album. He knew that, all right, I need to release something else. Because of course, everybody gonna talk about it. Him dissing Drake and him sitting here and Kendrick Lamar dissing Drake and J. Cole is going, just because of times we live in the messy times where people are super caught up in all the drama and the he say, she say. So people, that's gonna carry that album. But let's be clear, ain't no hits on that album, dog. That type shit, I thought that joint was going crazy. Don't get it twisted. Playboy Carti, oh my God, he should have had 2 verses. That could have easily been a Playboy Carti song, and that song would have been OD fire. That would have been my favorite Playboy Carti song of all times if it was just Future and Playboy Carti on there. Because when that Playboy Carti part come in, I'm not gonna lie, he cranked the hell out. That little voice or whatever he did, oh my God, he smoked that song. But let's be clear, this Future project is mid. I was hitting top all week, and I'm like, dog, you be trolling me on my comments every time. The only person I'm waiting for is Future. Wait for Future. You drop, and Low be blunt because Low was. I'm like, bro, stop. It's 2 in the morning, dog. No Diddy. Stop texting my phone. I don't have no critique on this man album at 2 in the morning. And stop texting me at 2 in the morning. No Diddy. I'm gonna burn that up for the rest of the evening because I want y'all to sit here and stop celebrating these goddamn nasty Nathaniels. But anyway, so Future came. The Future John. I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, all right, he ain't got no slappers on here. I need at least one. The best song on there was that what was it? I want to say it was like Princess Diana or whatever the joint was called. What was the song called? Future. Magic Don Juan. That was, to me, that was the best song on that project. That Magic Don Juan. And like I said, the type shit song was cool. Playboy Carti had the best verse on it, but that was just like, it was cool.
You would take 4 of my dogs over that, Future?
Hell yeah. They ain't even close. They shouldn't even be mentioned in the same conversation. But again, but I do want to give myself some credit. What did I tell y'all literally 2 weeks ago? When we talked about it, I said the only person who could ever realistically really come for Drake's spot is Future. Why? Because, and that's a perfect example. Like people been saying, oh, Kendrick Lamar, Drake have been sub dissing each other for years. But people don't talk about it because it's a different audience that listens to Kendrick Lamar from the people who actually listen to Drake. Like that is the biggest demon about Drake, because he's such a big artist. He gets to tap dance with multiple audiences of listening. Like people who are into Kendrick Lamar still may hate listening to Drake, but they still won't listen to Drake. But most people, if I'm a diehard Future fan, I'm not listening to Kendrick Lamar. So the smartest thing Kendrick Lamar ever could have done, but even from the smartest thing with Metro Boomin, all of them two collab together. Because I know most people, I even say people, damn, I never would have thought I would have heard Kendrick Lamar on a Metro Boomin beat. Because that's just not his world. And so that's why it gets amplified. The story is 100 times bigger. Because if this was just Kendrick Lamar shooting at J. Cole and Drake on a regular Kendrick Lamar joint, I don't necessarily know if that verse would have had the same impact as it does because I'm on a song with Future. because I'm on a song with Future, and realistically, the only person who kind of shares the same type of audience as Drake is Future.
No, but I would say the same effect when he did Control. That was a what's name song, wasn't it?
It was Big Sean.
Big Sean. Yeah, I would say the same impact was on the Control joint.
I mean, maybe. I think the times was different though.
But it still had everybody in the tensy. Because when he was like that, oh, I'm the king of New York, all that, he had everybody in the frenzy on for that one. So that's why I say I feel like Kendrick, I get what you're saying, like just a straight just Kendrick song probably wouldn't, but he did the same thing with the Control. And when he threw shots at them.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's a different audience to listen to that. Like that, even for Future, like I'm saying, it's a smart move though. For him to sit here and do 220 this first week with no hit records on it, smart. It's a small play. Like you can't even really be mad at him, dog. For you to be able to do 220 the first week with no hit records on it, and I'm sitting here comparing it. I forgot. I don't even know what one of those websites or pages. I was on Instagram and I seen it. They was comparing which Future album you like more. You like the last joint, I never liked you anyway, or this one. Like he had hits on that. Like that's my point. I'm comparing Future, and I even told Top that I'm comparing Future to Future. I ain't comparing him to nobody else. Like this is not living up to the Future standard. I told like we be joking like he pulled a Money Man. Like Money Man put out a bunch of like just mid projects. Like all right, Money Man drop a lot of music, but a lot of it be mid. He ain't had a good solid project from beginning to end in a long time. This Future jump was mid as hell. Like it was just like all right, it's cool. Like if you just a diehard Future fan and you've been geeking to listen to some new Future, all right, it may feed your appetite a little bit, but not for real, for real. And like I said, for some people it'd be different. Like if you're not really a huge listening to a bunch of music type of people, like you might not even have listened to the Boss Man D-Lo. So I may be speaking a total different language from you. So you might not get what I'm talking about. But if you really into music and you again, when we talking about listening, looking for something new to listen to every Friday, that Future ain't gonna do it though. I promise you. You go listen to if you sit here want to compare, go listen. If you want to test my taste and ear on music, go listen to that Boss Man D-Lo, and you can even go first 5 for 5. You can go the first 5 songs on that Boss Man D-Lo project to the first 5 on that Future jump, and I promise you. Song for song, that Boss Man D-Lo joint is 100 times better, and he ain't had to diss a single goddamn soul, dog.
Yo, CEO Mikey.
So I mean, that's just my take on that one. Like I said, that Future joint was mid. Don't get it twisted. Them Kendrick bars was hard though. I ain't gonna hold you. He went smack. Like I was like, oh god damn. Like that little Prince outlived Mike and that. Whatever when he went to the crazy on the All My Dogs and in the K9s and all, I was like, oh, he's snapping, dog.
And I was just like, everybody the big 3 shit. I'm like, that's not even the serious one. The one when he said the All My Dogs and I'm a K9.
Yeah,
like I was like, that was the real direct hit.
But the first person shooter was like for both of y'all. Like when it got to the K9s and All My Dogs and then the Prince and the Mike Jack, that was directly for Drake. Like, no, here, sir, what size shoe you at? Here you go. Let me lace these up for you so you don't get confused. I'm talking to you, homeboy. But that first person shooting, just the little shots at J. Cole.
I think that was just more like, oh no, I heard you. I think that's what it was. I heard you what you said, and I'm still here. Like
yeah, but are you really ready to rap for real? Like, are you really ready to compete where it's like, yeah, you heard me, but are you ready when we start the shooting back? Are you gonna be ready to compete? You're not gonna be able to shoot. You're not gonna be able to shoot this shot and be able to go in the cut for another 5 years.
No, because I want to say when that if even we go back to when that Control thing out and everybody started throwing, nigga,
he didn't shoot back at Meek. Meek smoked his boots, and he did not shoot back at Meek Mills.
See, I don't remember Meek. I don't remember Meek going because I like I said, I remember J. Cole saying something back, and I think who else I heard.
Nigga, that Meek Mill. I don't
remember that Meek.
That's what we'll do. We'll go sit here. I'll play that Meek so you can remember. He did not respond to Meek. The matter of fact, for people, if you at home and you want to listen to that Meek Mills, the name of the song was "Ooh Kill 'Em," and it was a direct jump to. It was a direct response to Kendrick Lamar Control verse. He's like, hey, how you could like Meek Mill's blacked out on that joint. And trust and believe Kendrick Lamar, he act like he didn't hear. And that's sometimes that is the blessing that you kind of like because people don't put Meek in that same conversation with them. It's easy to kind of like duck that situation. But trust and believe, Meek had that smoke for him, and he had the ability to sit here and say, I don't have to pay attention to Meek because nobody put Meek in the conversation of me, J. Cole, and Drake. But Meek smoked him on that when he responded to that Control jump.
So since you said that Future joint was mid, what did you think about that Big Sean song?
On what planet do you think I still? You thought I went to go listen to Big Sean? Like, stop.
I thought you might have.
Never.
I fuck with the joint. I was like, it's fucked up because the whole Kendrick shit was going.
Yeah, because Big Sean is mid as hell. He's a mid-ass rapper.
I thought just. Did you hear the song?
I didn't hear it. I would like. Don't get twisted. Let's be clear. The Future joint was mid, but I still wanted to make sure I can give a. I know for a fact nobody else was rushing to listen to Big Sean. So even when it comes to like, all right, I know for a fact I gotta talk about this. I gotta sit here and say what songs was cool, why I didn't like this. Oh, let me get behind. Let me figure out what's the beef behind the Drake and Ross and all of this. Like, not nobody checking for Big Sean. I feel sorry for him though, but I mean that's what happens when you take breaks. Like, stop taking breaks. Y'all know I'm not a fan of nobody taking no break. You create content, you put out music, and I don't believe in breaks. Like, take a break during the holidays like everybody else, but they got to work a regular job. And outside of that, you better come to work. You can't sit here and want to take your break and then you think you can be able to get people's attention back when you want to get people's. Nah, we cool on you, dog. Hang it up. Let that jump load up. Iowa tap.
Get it right, Terrio. Oh.
See, is it K?